touched the sword of Bacchus and King Midas. Bacchus, the merry god of the vine, raised his goblet to you, King Midas, he said, and because you have been so hospitable to me, ask for anything that you wish, and I will grant it to you. What an idea, said Midas. Anything I wish? Indeed, anything, said Bacchus. Anything? Yes, oh well, said the king, chuckling. Of course, there's only one thing that I wish, that everything I would touch would turn to gold. Midas looked sideways at Bacchus, for he couldn't believe such a gift could really be his. My friend, you already have all the gold that you could possibly want, said Bacchus, looking disappointed. Oh, no, I don't, said Midas. One never has enough gold. Well, if that's what you wish for, I suppose I will have to grant it, said Bacchus. Bacchus soon took his leave. As Midas waved goodbye to him, his hands brushed the snow twig hanging from a tree, and the twig turned to gold. The king screamed with joy, then shouted after Bacchus, "My wish has come true. Thank you, thank you." The god turned and waved, then disappeared down the road. Midas looked around excitedly. He leaned over and picked a stone up from the ground, and the stone turned into a golden nugget. He kicked the sand, and the sand turned to gold grains. King Midas threw back his head and shouted, "I'm the richest man in the world!" Then he rushed about his grounds, touching everything, and everything turned to gold. Ears of corn in his field, apples plucked from trees, the pillars from his mansion. When the king's servants heard him shouting, they rushed to see what was happening. They found their king dancing wildly on his lawn, turning the grass to glittering blades of gold. Everyone laughed and laughed at King Midas washed his hands in the fountain and turned the water into a gleaming spray. Finally exhausted but overjoyed, King Midas called for his dinner. His servants placed a huge banquet meal before him on his lawn. "Oh, I'm so hungry," he said as he spared a piece of meat and brought it to his mouth. But suddenly,
Hold on, Carla, because your crew isn't ready here. Let them. Start that part over, the scene.
But suddenly King Midas realized his wish may not have been as wonderful as he thought. For the moment he bit down on the meat, it too turned to gold. Midas laughed uneasily, then reached for a piece of bread. But as soon as his hands touched the bread, it also became a hard golden nugget. Weak with dread, Midas reached for his goblet of water, but alas, his lips touched only hard, cold metal. The water had also turned to gold. Covering his head and moaning, King Midas realized his great wish was going to kill him. He would starve to death or die from thirst. "Bacchus," he cried, throwing his hands toward heaven, "I've been a greedy fool. Take away your gift. Free me from my golden touch. Help me, Bacchus. The sobbing king fell off his chair to his knees. He beat his fist against the ground, turning even the little anthills to gold. His servants grieved for him, but none dared to go near him, for they feared he might accidentally turn them to gold too. As everyone wailed with sorrow, Bacchus suddenly appeared on the palace lawn. The merry god stood before the sobbing king for a moment, then said, "Rise, Midas." Stumbling to his feet, King Midas began Bacchus to forgive him and you were greedy and foolish, my friend, said Bacchus, but I will forgive you. Now go and wash yourself in the Pelagos rivers and that runs by Syrtis, and you'll be cleansed from this desire to have more gold than anyone else. King Midas did as Bacchus said. He washed in the Pelagos, leaving behind streams of gold in the river's sand. Then he returned home and happily ate his dinner. The end.
Naomi.
What?
Are you gonna be in the puppet show that the Dio Sassy? No. You're lucky.
I know, right?
Hey, bro, we only have 3 people. They can't even see you, Trayvon. That's racist, kind of.
All right.
I can't work at my desk. I guess I have to work